Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Jason, and we are back again for another super awesome movie review. And today we're going to be talking about not an exploitation film, but it's more of a homage to 1980s cop action movies and martial arts extravaganzas. It is called Kung Fury. It was made in 2015. It is a English language Swedish martial arts comedy featurette, written and directed by David Sandberg. Now, there is an awful lot going on in this movie, so I will try to summarize the basic plot. So basically, Kung Fury has to stop Hitler before Hitler unleashes killer arcade robots on the city of Miami.
Yes.
And from there, this 31-minute featurette, which has a budget of just over $600,000. $600,000. That's kind of a lot of money for a quote unquote low budget. They just go all over the place in those 31 minutes. They're doing an awful lot. They use a lot of different film techniques, voiceover, title cards, sound effects, 80s music, just a lot of stuff happening. So we're going to talk about our initial thoughts. Jason?
Oof. I would say this movie was a love song to all of those things. To the Kung Fu, to video games, to 8-bit computing, to David Hasselhoff, to Lamborghinis and Uzis and attractive Viking women riding dinosaurs. Like, it has everything. It has gods and Hitler and a giant army of gas mask wearing foot soldiers that all also do kung fu. I mean, badly. They get their butts kicked all over the place. I loved.
Oh, so initial thoughts, right?
Whoa! Oh, so initial thoughts.
Whoa!
You pumped the brakes on me. I was speeding downhill.
Yeah,
full load in the back.
We're trying to work out our structure, folks.
Oh, structure.
So
my extemporaneous nature.
I like how you listed all the stuff that they throw in, because there is just a lot of stuff that they're doing in this movie. So my initial thoughts, you actually are the one who told me about this movie. The first time you told me about it, I wrote it off. I was not interested. I saw the poster, not interested. The second time you told me, I thought, okay, we're kind of going down this rabbit hole, and I'm kind of trying to open myself up to different stuff. It's 31 minutes. So I decided to watch it. I actually watched this twice in a couple of days. So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in just one viewing.
Mm. You know what it reminded me of? This is just kind of an initial thought as well. Do you remember when you were a kid and you had a toy box and all of the small fun pieces would kind of drift to the bottom?
Yeah.
And like all your action figures were down there, and like their cars. And so like the strata of
right,
like what you had the most fun with, you had to get to that stuff. Like,
yeah,
this movie was like reaching into the bottom of the toy box and pulling out all of the cool stuff that has drifted its way
right
to the bottom. I mean, I never had a Hitler action figure as a kid, but
would you have wanted one?
as like the biggest enemy of humanity.
Yeah, no, of course.
I don't know.
Oh no. Maybe
Are you
no.
saying, is this another conversation? Like,
No,
would
well, it's either that or Hitler as the artist.
as the artist, make
the painter.
just being an Austrian painter.
Yeah, that's
Like you want like World War, like interwar Hitler as an action figure, just a struggling artist.
I think that's interesting.
I don't know if YouTube is going to let us talk about
Okay, moving
Hitler action figures for children. But you know what?
Moving on. It's not for children.
Hold on. Now let me. I remember there was a store in the mall, and I think this store has gone out. It's called Family Christian Stores.
Okay, yeah, I remember that store.
I'm almost convinced in my mind they had action figures, and one was the devil. There was a devil action figure.
Maybe. I don't know. I never have seen that.
So if you can have a devil action figure,
you can have a Hitler action figure. We should move on.
This yeah, we should. We're going to be labeled like right-wing extremists for suggesting that children should have Hitler action figures.
All right. So would you like? Okay, good. Well,
everybody needs an enemy.
They're not for children. I already said that.
So McFarlane toy kind of thing.
If that helps.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to what we liked about this film.
Yes.
Featurette. You want to go first?
I loved that it was all turbo all the time.
Oh, I just thought of something. Sorry.
It was like they hit the accelerator and never stopped.
Yeah.
And it was trope after trope after trope. And like if you pepper in tropes, that can be okay. It can be a little bit interesting. But if you just smear it on, you're like, of course, this like rogue cop that is really good at kung fu drives a Lamborghini Diablo, which is like the ultimate 80s, badass car. And of course, he's like got a partner that he's like bonded to. It. What did he say in the movie? He said, I love you like a father.
Oh, yeah, the first partner. The one who...
Yeah, the first partner that got sliced by a katana blade.
Yeah, the one who dies.
Yeah, spoiler alert. There's no spoiling this movie. It's a visual feast.
Yeah, it's a visual splattering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of splattering going on.
Okay, so you like that?
I liked it.
Yeah, no, I know. So you like the endless tropes and that it plays off all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And yeah, because it's playing off the cop action movies, the buddy movies. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's even time travel. We didn't talk about that.
There's time travel. There's computer hacking. There's dinosaurs with laser eyes.
Hacker Man,
one of the most underappreciated characters in the movie. He puts on that Nintendo Power Glove and he just starts typing with it. That thing didn't work in real life to begin with.
Well, I'll give it some credit for Hacker Man and Hacking Time, and like when they had the hands just doing this over the keyboard.
They weren't even pressing any buttons.
Because it's playing on the computer plot device that the computers can kind of pull up any information that you need and move this plot forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of funny in hindsight, not when I was watching it.
I loved how he got hacked so far back in time that he ended up in that alternate universe. And he makes that great line. Something about, of course, there's dinosaurs with laser eyes, with hanging out with Vikings or something. He's like, I must be back thousands of years.
Yeah, I think it's actually a voiceover. So we're hearing his
Yeah.
thoughts. Yeah, uh another technique they pull out.
Now let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a cop movie where the boss or the chief of police is either good or competent?
Not one that I can recall right off right off the bat. No.
They're like one of the biggest enemies.
Yeah,
Like as a plot device, a
yeah.
chief of police is going to like spoil everything.
Oh yeah. There's some obstacle.
And he always has to say, the mayor's down my throat or down my back or whatever.
Yeah.
Gets down your throat. It's a different movie.
which I don't think we're gonna get to.
We're not gonna review that one. The mayor's down my throat.
Okay, so a couple things that I liked about it, and there were not many. I have to be honest. This one was a stretch for me, but I did, as I said, I liked Hacker Man, and I liked that whole thing. That whole sequence was pretty cool. Oh, so when he gets to the Viking era, and he's standing off with the laser T-Rex, I thought this was a well done visual joke when they used the zoom cuts on toward Kung Fury's eyes and then the eyes of the dinosaur as he is standing off, looking at it, and it's getting closer and closer, and it's off center. I thought that was a good visual joke.
It's reminiscent of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah,
because they did that same.
Yeah, sure. Well, in a movie filled with visual jokes and gags and one trope after another, and it's can be a lot. They packed a lot in, as I continue saying, in 31 minutes. So it's you either kind of love it and just go with it, or you're kind of like, wow, I can't keep up with this. Or for me, a lot of it just didn't really work. Like I felt like I understood what they were going for. But now we're getting into the dislikes, what didn't work. And I'm curious, because I think you loved it. I'm curious to know if you felt anything didn't work quite as well as it could have.
Part of me wants to say that I kind of wish they wouldn't have made the interaction at the end with Triceracop so like you're the best partner I've ever had. He just says that to the guy after he writes him off and then works with him again. But then again, what else is he gonna say?
Yeah.
It went all out so hard every moment. Like there's not a single scene or a single frame that isn't intentionally ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Like the animated sequence where he's standing there against the Cobra guy and then he just flexes his butt cheeks. I thought that was hilarious. I paused it. I just kept laughing. I was like, that is one of the funniest like micro moments.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have too many things to say about disliking it.
That's cool.
It was so intentional, and I really kind of respect what they were doing there, because it's one of those love it or hate it. I think it's gonna be hard to. Anything I say I hate is just me trying to find a way to be critical about something.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be hate.
Yeah.
But
What do I wish I could have done better? Maybe.
yeah, if anything, could be nothing.
Maybe nothing. I liked it start to finish. I like the ridiculousness of it. I respect the what they were going for.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I was trying to. So the second time I watched it, I was trying to track what they were doing. So like maybe you can help me with this, but it opens with an action sequence. We're getting right into the action. Now, one thing initially that caught me way off guard and I didn't like was the use of CGI, especially in the beginning. I just thought the CGI was not well done and not seamless. I didn't know if I was supposed to be watching a live action or an animated movie to like it with those very first shots. But so they go into to do this action sequence, and then we meet Kung Fury, and there's a hero sequence, and then then there's like a video game style fight, and then there's the time travel. Oh, there's that side scrolling. Anyway, it's too much. There's so much happening.
Yes.
It's like they had to hit all their loves, all their influences, and just pack them into 31 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I felt it would have been better if maybe they just chose one or two to really dive into and do well. I think that would have worked better for me. And the other thing, so a couple other things that I had problems with. And I know it's supposed to be intentional and reminiscent of those old movies and TV shows, but the dialogue, man, I was tracking it, and just about every line of dialogue was either exposition or a one-liner pun.
Yes.
And the one-liners, I will say, worked better than the exposition, because generally speaking, I think exposition and dialogue should be used sparingly, if at all. And it's generally, a bad movie thing. But maybe that's what they were going for. I think like the biggest thing, it was a joke that went on too long. Like, okay, I can get that the dialogue is supposed to be exposition, but why do we have to do it for 30 minutes? It's kind of like the whole movie. Like for me, it was a joke that went too long. And try to think what else. I don't know. I took 6 pages of notes, but
yeah.
yeah.
I'm seeing your joke that went too long thing, but I grew up watching movies like Commando and like Predator and whatnot, and everything. Like those are hour and a half films where it's all ridiculous, and the guys that are the super buff dudes with machine guns, it's all one-liners and
yeah,
just constant mayhem. So
yeah.
some films don't even take themselves seriously, and it's like a threshold. They get over that hump of what is going to be taken seriously, and they're like, screw it, nothing. So it's a zero-sum game for being taken seriously as cinema. It's just fun. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And no moment is a roller coaster an efficient way to travel.
I wonder what's the line. So the other thing I was going to talk about was that this featurette is all plot, right?
Absolutely.
There's not a single ounce of story. Maybe this is debatable, but I am almost 100% certain there's no story. It's all plot. And so so that for me, it can work. It can work. I didn't used to think it could work for me, but like I mentioned on a different podcast, I have recently watched Raiders of the Lost Ark and now Temple of Doom. And those movies are also purely plot driven with maybe a tiny ounce of story in Raiders, you could argue, but mostly plot driven. And man, that works for that movie. That works. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would. But with Kung Fury, what's the line of, yeah, it's made to be bad, it's made to be fun. With those Predator and other movies in the 80s, were those intentionally made that way, or this is just a style, or people just kind of liked this kind of filmmaking? I don't know.
I don't think the story is important. I don't need to care why and we need to correct ourselves. Ted Fury is the cop, and he's a master of Kung Fu, but as the chosen one, he's been deemed Kung Fury.
Yeah, there's
neither here nor there.
There's an origin story. Yeah,
there is an origin story. So there is a little story, but it's just kind of his, this is where I came from.
No, it's just more plot.
Who I am. It's a plot device.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you need to care about him. You don't need to care about Hacker Man or Thor or any of the characters. They just show up and decide to fight with each other against Kung Fury.
So yeah, kind of my question that I have as I'm watching these kind of movies is, at what point do we want to care a little bit, even if it's a quote unquote bad movie? I'm going to go back to Hobo with a Shotgun just briefly, because there was more story there than Kung Fury. And even if it was played for laughs, or it was played as a play on the serious drama or whatever. So like, what's, that's just a question I have in my head, because, typically I want to care about a character, and I get that in these kind of movies, we don't need to, but is there some middle ground? I wonder.
Have you seen Idiocracy?
I believe we watched it together.
I think you're right. You remember that scene where at the end he becomes president, and throughout earlier in the film he says that the number one movie in America is just called Ass, and it's just a butt on a screen farting constantly. And people love it. It like wins an Academy Award for Best Picture or something. And at the end, he goes, and from now on, we're going to make movies, good movies. And you're going to know whose ass it is and why you care that it's farting, or something like that.
Yeah.
This movie was just ass. It was
there's just a series of farts.
Right. It's just a series of farts.
No, I get it.
It was retro farts.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
It was like a visual Comic-Con,
Yeah. No, it was very visual. A lot of stuff.
I mean, I've said it before, I care almost as much about this character as I do any of the Avengers. So,
well, yeah, but like those movies are also not trying to tell any grand story, right?
Maybe Logan.
Yeah, but now we're getting somewhere else. But
That's a different,
but Logan falls out of the regular
like the canon of people are going to hate us for that.
Falls out of the franchise, right?
Yeah.
It's a little side step or whatever. It's a little side path.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that brings us to our moment of truth.
Our thumbing.
Our thumbing. I don't think I like that term, but
Thumbing the movies with Eric and Jason.
Oh no. No. Okay.
I think you know how I'm going to vote. I think I know how you're going to vote, but you might surprise me. I don't think you will.
No, I think everyone pretty much knows. And this one I'm not ashamed of. I'm full on what it is.
My hope is that you give it just one thumb up.
You shouldn't hope that.
I think that would be wonderful. I think for the creators of the film would appreciate it.
I think it's funny that I read never mind. I'm not going to go there. Well, no, keep in mind, I did watch it twice. So that is something.
That counts as an extra thumb up. So it's going to be whatever your thumbs are, then my thumbs, and then the bonus thumb.
If that makes you feel better. Sure.
It does. It gives me a little hope.
Okay. Why don't you count us down this time?
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh.
What are you going to do?
50-50.
It's better than 0.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, this movie got 2 thumbs up.
Technically speaking, that's accurate.
Yes. It also got 2 thumbs down.
Also accurate.
We almost need a third person.
Almost, but not quite.
No. You know what? You're going to like what you like. I'm going to like what I like. We're going to end up watching a lot of the same stuff. Eventually, I'm going to hate something.
I will be very interested to see what you hate. I think what's interesting for me is learning how to appreciate at least certain things within films that I generally don't like. And that used to be pretty hard for me. I used to kind of need, for some reason, to like it, all of it, or not.
Yeah. Did you have fun with it?
With this movie?
Yeah.
I think I had fun more the first time that I watched it. But but the second time, it didn't feel like I needed to watch it again.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? What are we watching next?
Oh man, well, we keep talking about the Russ Meyer film from 1963, I think. Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
I want to watch it. I want to see it. I think that's going to be nice. That's going to be time traveling.
Yeah, black and white.
Yep. To the true era of exploitation films. Absolutely.
Yep.
And then maybe we can get into one of my favorites.
You said absolutely. All right, we're going to end
Death
this.
Race. Hey, I've said it 3 times.
One of your favorites? Death Race?
Death Race. From the 1960s. It's zany.
We have to, yeah, well.
Faster Pussycat. Next episode's probably going to be Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Yeah, I think we need to do that. It's something neither of us have seen.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cheers. I'm holding a drink.
Cheers.
You can almost not even see it. There we go.
I ate fast food today, so I have this yellow liquid. Can I? There it is. That's better. Cheers.
We're going out.